Hi everyone, welcome to the presentation on all about the EVO Alta. I think we're just going to give it a couple minutes just for everyone to turn up and then we'll get started. Just waiting for a few more, I believe. Right, okay, then yeah, we'll get started then. So, as I say, welcome everyone to the presentation all about the Alta. My name's Harry Gillett. I'm a business development executive here at JSP, and this is my colleague Joe, who is the head of national accounts and business development. The slide. So, as you can see on the screen, we have the outer is sort of one shell, three different chin straps. And you can see we have our outer sky worker, our working at height variant, our outer base worker for your sort of ground level stuff, and our outer dual switch, which is a solution when there may be situations where you're working at base level or at height. And what you can see is each of the chin straps is really where the key difference is here. And each of them denote a different color relating to the environment they're working around. So sky worker, lovingly denoted by blue by our marketing team, the base worker in gray, and the dual switch in red. I just wanted to kick things off by just going through each of the standards that are relevant to the EVO Alta, starting off with the EN397. So this is the sort of industrial helmet standard designed for sort of base level work and focuses on crown impact protection. Testing wise, a massive 5 kilograms is dropped onto the head form, and also a 3 kilogram pointed striker is also dropped onto the head form. And you can see on the screen here what it needs to sort of pass these tests. Now, a real focal point for us on the outer is the chin strap. So a EN397 chin strap is designed to release at a minimum of 150 newtons and a maximum of 250, which is equivalent to around 25 kgs worth of force. And we'll just go into the reasonings behind this in a bit more detail later on. There are also a range of sort of optional extra tests for EN397, and the EN50365 standard being one of these must meet all of the mandatory conditions of EN397 and just offers enhanced electrical properties on the helmet. Now, EN12492, known as the leisure standard, focuses on sort of 360-degree enhanced impact protection and is tested on the front, on the crown, the sides, the front and the back, and also penetration on the crown. In terms of the chin strap, differing from the EN397, the chin strap is designed not to break up to a maximum force of 500 newtons, which is equivalent to around 50 kg. So these are each the relevant standards, and we'll just go into a bit more depth later on about which of these standards will apply to each of the different helmets. Before that, I just wanted to take you into the sort of DNA of the helmet, what the outer is like when you really take it apart, and its great range of features and benefits. First and foremost, starting with the shell. Mountaineering style shell that is designed for maximum comfort and maximum compatibility. Comfort-wise on the shell, you can see dual ventilation on the sides here and the back, which can lower temperatures by up to 2 to 3 degrees inside the helmet. Now, compatibility is a message that we focus on here at JSP, and the reason being, way too often in the workplace, you see people wearing PPE ensembles that aren't actually compatible with each other, and therefore you're not actually receiving the levels of protection that you would hope or expect. The outer has a range of features on it to encourage this compatibility with a range of other JSP products, knowing that you're protected as you should be. First of these being the universal slot on the side of the helmet here, which can just pop out. And ear defenders or face shields can be applied in that same slot. So you can ensure that you're receiving the levels of hearing protection and also impact protection. And it is also designed to work alongside other JSP products such as face masks, which you can see here, full PPE ensemble being worn on the outer. Okay. Some other features on the shell of the outer, just to improve this compatibility, is on the front, you can take out this little toggle here, that focuses, and this a universal torch can be applied to that, and also these clips on the side in which a strap for a head torch can be held in place. Okay. Now moving on to the sort of inner parts of the helmet, the EPP liner on the inside there is lightweight and ventilated, improving comfort and also supporting that 360 impact protection that is received by the helmet. The suspension harness seen on the inside, made out of a comfy textile material, creates a gap between the head and the shell, again increasing airflow, increasing comfort, allowing you to wear it for longer periods of time. Moving on to the actual harness, the ratchet. The wheel ratchet harness allows for easy and comfortable adjustment to create a close and secure fit, and then is also supported by the contouring neck pad on the back here, which ensures it is just really going on the back of your neckline, again improving the comfort.
Just to add on to that, Harry, as well, just as with all of our safety helmets in the EVO range, when you look inside the helmet, not only have you got it's called the Revolution Flex 2 harness, so that pad hugs the neck, as Harry says, but where it's low slung, get the right angle at the back there, it helps balance the weight of the helmet on the head and gives a really comfortable fit. And for those of us with either smaller or larger heads, you can actually adjust the height of the ratchet using the 3D adjustment system as well. So it doesn't have to sit in one place. You've got three options of where that wheel ratchet sits to give you an optimum fit for that individual's head shape or size.
Yeah, so we have as I say, the sweatband on the front is replaceable, and we've colored it in yellow so it's easy to see when it's dirty and when it's mainly replacing. And the whole internal parts of the harness, the straps and the shell, also available as spares to keep the helmet well maintained over longer periods of time. Finally, the chin strap of the helmet is designed for maximum flexibility and adjustment to ensure that all head shapes and sizes can be accounted for. Now, another benefit of the 3D adjustment system touched upon by Joe is that there is a bone on the back of your head where, when pressed in, can actually create a headache if it is there for too long. So allowing you to adjust the helmet, or where the helmet sits, up or down your head, can keep the pressure away from that bone in the back of your head, and again encourages the helmet to be worn for longer periods of time. So now just coming up. So as you can see on the slides here, just a quick breakdown of everything we just touched upon, each of the elements of the helmet and kind of the features and how they promote that comfort and safety. So moving on to each of the variants of the helmet, starting with the base worker. So too often, when the EN 12492 standard came out, people loved the all-around impact protection that was being offered by the helmet. However, when working at base level, the chin strap wasn't actually proper for the situation. The chin strap should be designed to break in base level situations. Now, the reason for this is, imagine you're working at base level, the potential hazards around you are snagging points, so potential vehicles or even machinery. And if you were to get caught on that, you could potentially be pulled in. So it's essential that the chin strap breaks. You can see with a bit of force, it just comes apart. So here at JSP, we decided to keep that one shell, that one outer shell that has that EN 12492 enhanced all-round impact protection, and apply the EN 397 chin strap to allow you to get the best of both worlds. The base worker is available in vented or non-vented, and also conforms to the additional extra EN 50365 standard. And now moving on to the sky worker, our working at height variant of this helmet. So again, denoted in blue, this chin strap is designed to not break up to that force of 500 kilonewtons, and you've got to really, even giving it a good pull, it doesn't come apart. Now, the reason for this is the hazards that you generally face when working around, when working at heights, are potentially falling objects, or there's also the risk of you falling. And when you fall, a pendulum effect can be created, which hopefully would be accounted for. But if not, and there was something that you could potentially hit in this pendulum, you'd really want to make sure that the helmet is firmly on your head. There's no risk of it coming off, so you are protected as much as you can be. Also, the comfort and sort of ventilation features of the helmet can account for the sort of potentially strenuous work of going up high, different temperatures, keeping you comfier and hopefully being able to wear the helmet for longer periods of time. Finally, the Alta dual switch.
The EVO Alta dual switch. So as Harry said, we've got that one shell element, so we're never ever sacrificing on the impact performance of the product. So always meeting that EN 12492 impact requirement. So increased crown impact testing, both sides, front and rear. As Harry rightly said, there's risks associated with chin straps, whether working at height or at ground level, whether that's snagging and potential strangulation, or if you wear the wrong chin strap at height, then the helmet would actually fall off the head, which creates a risk not only for the wearer, but the dropped object risk of the helmet potentially hitting someone below. Now, if you're working in a sort of a specialised role, that means you need to work at ground level occasionally. So take the highways, for example, where you could be working on the tarmac. You've got snagging risks from passing vehicles, heavy plant. But then in the next breath, you could be working up on one of the gantries, and you need to be able to flick between those braking forces. You've got the dual switch. I'm just going to lean in here. So you can see here, you've got a chin strap that allows you to flick between those braking forces. So at the moment, when it's blue, you can see it says EN 12492. So it's not going to break. It's designed to stay on my head when I'm working at height. Click that up into EN 397, and it reduces that that braking force down. So if I'm working at ground level or around an environment where snagging is a risk, it'll break away and allow me to step away from that situation. But all the while, you've still got that all-round impact protection, so you're never sacrificing on that.
So they're the three sort of different chin straps for the single shell of the Alta, offering that full 360-degree impact protection, keeping you safe in the workplace. Now, also on the Altas, there is maximum sort of customization and branding available. So a maximum of up to 6 block printed colors can be applied to the front, the sides, or the rear of the helmet. As you can see on the screen and across the range, and on the back here is also a wide range of colors to best suit your corporate image and your corporate needs. And there are a number of benefits to having your helmet branded. Firstly being it can be seen as sort of easy marketing in a way and create a sense of brand identity just to passers by on the street. Another benefit is it actually acts as a prevention against theft, reducing the value of the product to someone that would steal it if it was branded. And yeah, Brendan, also with the Alta, there is a wide range of customization in terms of the front panels. So we've got the interchangeable badge holder. We can have a plain front, or we can have a branded front. Again, coming with a wide range of benefits. For example, the interchangeable front panel for the badge holder could have a range of site security benefits. First of these being, you'll be able to easily identify people on site. You know that the people on site are meant to be there, and it reduces risk in that sense. It can also, if medical information is applied to them, if unfortunately there was to be a situation where there was an accident, that medical information will be on hand and it can be passed on quickly and lead to a quicker response from services. Now, a lot of sites even mandate that you need to have sort of branding or a specific type of branding on the front of your helmets nowadays. And this could even come with a cost saving and environmental aspect. Reason being, instead of needing 4 or 5 different helmets for 4 or 5 different sites, you can just have your single Alta with your different front modules and swap them all out depending on where you need to be. This reduces the cost of buying a lot of helmets and also the environmental side of owning 4 or 5 different helmets that are made out of plastic.
You know, you could have on the modular front, like you say, Harry, the playing front your company's brand. But if you're going to do subcontractor work for a large project that has project specific branding, that's where you can then employ the badge holder with not only the benefits of that flexible branding, right, but the in case of emergency detail that you can put on the rear of the product.
Yeah, so obviously here at JSP, we have a large focus on our environmental, social and governance pillars. The fact of the matter is we work with plastic products and there is no getting around this. So we have to do everything we can to offset this fact. And this can be really be seen in the life cycle of the Alta from beginning all the way to the end of its life. In terms of the way the product is designed, it's designed for durability, to last for longer periods of time, and also uses ethically sourced, responsible and high quality products to back this up. On a manufacturing standpoint, we ensure that we act in a waste-free and lean sort of operation as possible, having solar panels all over the roofs of our Worsham office, which sort of power the production of many of our helmets. I believe at one point it was even 1 in 3 helmets.
At one point, yeah, I think as our capacity's grown, we've grown as a business, and we're producing more helmets. That figure has changed. But Harry says we use renewable energy, not only through the solar panels, but where our additional energy source is from renewables. And then I'm sure you're going to say, Harry, but from a packaging perspective, we package in bulk. We sell in box quantities, and the material is made of 75% recycled material, and we also reduce the amount of bleaching we use on our packaging, so just plain cardboard with the text on where required.
And finally, going into the sort of end of life, we work with a number of partners to provide helmet recycling schemes, and also with any unused or damaged helmets on our end, sent away, chipped, sent to our Stanlake traffic production factory to be turned into things like barrier feet. And even so, the material we use for the Alta, for example, is ABS. Even after 1 mold, once those are chipped, it's really high grade material. So as Harry says, it can either be used over at our traffic and site facility where we make barriers, cones, and the like, but also it can actually be repurposed and back into a manufacturing sort of life cycle, and can go into other things like interior dashboards and things for cars, other products that aren't as safety focused, where you need a virgin material and again can use recycled material. So that is our EVO Alta, as I say, 1 shell, 3 different chin straps for a range of different situations, and would like to encourage any questions now if there were any. I know one question we get often is what's the MOQ for branding, and that would just be 10, so quite a low MOQ for branding helmets there. And to brand you can now get the fronts only branded, and that will be at an MOQ of 50. Okay, there's a question there. So yeah, in terms of replacing the chin straps, now you can't. All of the chin straps come in the Alta are factory fitted. It's to encourage that the correct helmet is selected for the correct environment, particularly for EN 12492 helmets like the Skyworker here. If that were to be snapped or torn in any way, that would be considered an incident, and you need to replace the whole helmet. In the same way, if you were to have an impact on a safety helmet, you need to replace it. So we're not going to encourage replacing the chin straps on the Alta, so we don't supply those separately. Yeah, the modular fronts, they can be replaced as well. So those can be purchased separately. You don't have to buy complete badge holder options or complete modular front options. You can flick between the two and purchase ad hoc as you need to. Okay, any more? Maybe have something coming in there. Well, what we'll do, Ray, who's sat off camera there, if you could circulate the contact details for the office here at Worsham. So if anyone's got any questions after the fact, you can give myself or Harry or indeed one of the other team members a call, or drop us an email.
We'll happily answer any questions or deal with any inquiries that you do have. But we really appreciate you joining today and taking the time to learn a bit more about this helmet range from JSP. And yeah, as I say, as ever, after the fact, if you've got any questions, please do get in touch with us and we'll be happy to help.
Thanks all.
Thank you very much.